We're still working on the Land Raider. We've got the last few things to do now, and that's to do the lenses and the lights, and some of this will be by hand and some of it will be airbrush. Basically anything that will be emitting light will be airbrushed, just so I get a glow around it. Anything that will not be emitting light is going to get painted. So I'm going to start with the observation hatch prismatic lenses, so I'm going to give those a paint. After that's pretty much it. The only things left to do, I neglected to put the decal on this guy's shoulder here, and then I need to give the whole thing a seal with matte varnish. So not a lot left to do, so I'm going to get on and paint these lenses. So I'm going to start with ultramarine blue, which an ancient pot of, and occasionally when I open it these days put a little bit of fluid in there. I'm going to just mix on the tile up to through electric blue and up to white. So I'll show you one and then I'll get on and do the others. Very simple. Always kind of paint where the easiest access is, so I'll just turn that upside down so I can just get into there like that. And then the top. And this one has, so this is the one with the little lens here. Obviously in a armoured fighting vehicle, these are so that the person down inside can see out. Take a little electric blue. I'm going to, on the palette there, that's out of your sight, on the palette here I'm just going to pick up a little of that, a little water. It's an intermediate step that uses both colours, quite wet, and then I'm going to use that to highlight the upper edge. Take a step that uses just pure ice blue, electric blue, sorry. I'm going to use some kitchen roll to take the excess paint off the brush, so I touch the brush, take the excess paint off, and that gives me more control here. Put some pigment down. We'll do this a couple of times. Because it's the way I get a smoother gradient. And the last step, we'll use a little white mixed with a little blue, and that doesn't get that gets a fine kind of edge light across the top and the side. Like that. I've done this very quickly. Probably take a little bit more care over some of the lenses on the vehicle, and circular lenses will get a low light as well. Circular lenses, you highlight dark to light, because the curve of the lens would refract from the lower portion, not from the upper portion. But that's what I do to those. So I'm going to get on and do the others around here, and then I'll return to you when I'm airbrushing the oldie big spotlight and the headlights. That's those done. Reasonably quickly, but they'll do the job. It's turned out quite nicely. I have a few things left to do. There are headlights, little targeting lights, light sensors here and here, and a spotlight which goes on there. I'm going to base each light with the darker tone, so I'll be basing green lights with Goblin Green, yellow lights with Eander Dark Sun, and then I will airbrush just a little corona around each one of a brighter colour, so that will be Scorpion Green and Sunburst Yellow. And then if I need to, for instance here where there are wires, redefine those, then I'll put on a slightly darker wash just to pick those bits out. So I'm going to just go in first with the brush base coats. So again, you'll see I'm using quite an old paint, and this paint I've kept going for years by simply just adding some medium and some water every now and again, just where I need to thin that down. Just touch that on the edge of the palette, take that off on the brush, and so this light here needs to be a little thicker actually. This light here is going to be a green light. For those, base the yellow lights. Again, it's a very old paint, so I'm going to need to be a bit creative here. I need to take some of the very thick pigment, it's dried out over time, place that in the bottom of there. Because I'll be using an airbrush medium as my thinner, I can get away with this, because there's acrylic medium in the thinner I'm using. You see that the paint kind of comes back to life. As long as there's still some liquid in there, I can get away with that really. But I need to be careful not to over thin. That's a little thin, so I'm going to take some more pigment. And I don't think I'll need more than that. So, airbrush, compressor, check that the paint's flowing, absolutely fine. I'm getting less pressure than I feel like I should, but I think I'll be alright for what I'm about to do. Do a test panel first, and I just do that on some kitchen roll, and you can see that I'm getting the colour through that I want. So I'm going to do these first. So I just go in green. And you see I'm just getting a little glow. Gotta be careful where I shoot. Okay. Need to change that. Need a little more pigment. There we go. So there was a little mistake that nearly cost me on the green, and I'm going to not repeat that. So I'm going to grab a piece of card. Obviously light is being cast in this direction, so I don't want any of the yellow to overspray here, so I just need to quickly mask that. Just check my flow. It's good. Just quickly arrest any overspray that I might get there. I'm getting a decent kind of headlight glow. Just to reinforce that, I'm going to turn that around, and from where the lights are, I'm just going to spray down this. Just to pick up that cast light as it travels down the model. Go find sepia. Just to add a little definition. Strictly speaking, I should be painting the bars on those lights black, because that's what the visual effect would be. I'm not going to do that because if I do, it won't actually look right on the model, as weird as that sounds. Mixing cups, because to each of those I'm going to add a little white for highlights. Just let that wash dry first. And there it is, finished Land Raider. It does still need its matte coat, so it will be a little shiny in places, but just want to give everything 24 hours to completely dry before I give it a coat of matte varnish, which I'll just do through the airbrush. I'll just use Vallejo's matte varnish, shoot it through the airbrush. So painted, decaled, weathered, lights, soot. I do still need to put that decal there, but those are the last two things. Of course I can always show you it more complete by not using him.